So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like during the most recent World Championship in Lyon, I kept hearing about the caster curse. For those of you who don't know, the caster curse, at least in the RLCS, is when the entire desk predicts one team to win the game. This effectively curses them and seals them as the loser of the match. But what I decided to spend my week on is proving once and for all if the caster curse is a real thing. I went through every RLCS LAN starting in Lyon and ending in LA back in Season 1, scrubbing through dozens of hours and hundreds of matches, documenting every single desk sweep and the results of those matches, and today I'm here to share those results with you. And if you're upset that I'm not doing regionals or league play matches, as that would be the true and most accurate version of this video, then that's too bad. This video took way too long as it is going through every LAN match. I'm not about to spend another 10 hours scrubbing through every single league match game. I'm not going to be factoring in the alt streams either of the LANs because those are the more one-sided matches that they already know, as well as there only being 2 desk hosts. The desk is also the casters, so it's a lot easier for desk sweeps to happen on that side. For the complete opposite reason though, I'm going to completely factor out the coin in this. The coin basically just adds a 5th desk host, which completely adds another level of randomization, and if I did, then there would practically be no desk sweeps and this would be a 2-minute video. The casters sometimes say that the game is still cursed even if the coin goes the other way, so I feel justified in saying this. My deepest condolences to the RLCS coin Twitter page. I hope you don't feel offended by this, and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me one day. But with all that out of the way, let's head back to Lyon and let's hope to find a cure to this curse. So I'm not going to talk about every single desk sweep that happened, as spoiler alert, we have 151 matches to get through, but all the ones that I don't specifically mention will show up at the end of every LAN event. It'll be like all the extra ones that I didn't talk about. So there were only 2 desk sweeps during the play-ins of Lyon, and that was NIP versus Virtus Pro, which went NIP's way, so no curse there. And our first curse of the video, Shopify Rebellion versus Virtus Pro.
We are heavily cursing it because you realize right now there's not just 4 Rebellion logos, there's 8 Rebellion logos on this test right now. Wait.
Moving straight into the main event, we have Carmine Core versus the Ultimates, which went Ultimates' way despite being swept against them by Carmine.
Yeah, stare at them and curse their team? Yeah. Is that what you want me to do? Fine, I'll do it. Give me Carmine Core on this one.
Now this one surprised me a little bit, considering that over the course of the season, KC and Ultimates went against each other twice, and it was 1-1 in the series. Plus, T-Bates was on the desk with his NA bias, but I guess it still went Carmine's way in the desk. Days 2 and 3 of the main event were pretty underwhelming, but then we get into Champions Sunday, where we have the same match I just talked about, KC versus Ultimates, and the desk did not learn their lesson. They all went KC again, but they were right, which I cannot say about the next match on here, which is KC versus Falcons.
They have played twice this season, once in EWC, once in Birmingham. Carmine Core won both times, didn't even go to Champions Field. Give me Carmine Core to advance to the grand finals and have a shot at the world title.
This will be curse number 3 and the final one of the World Championships, leaving them with a nice score of 3-11 curses, which is not looking too good for the big bad scary curse. Also, for the duration of this video, the team that I say or show first over here on the left, that will be the one that got all of the desk votes, just to make it simpler for you guys to visualize and so I don't have to say it every single time. Moving on to Raleigh, we have 3 curses from this event. The first one, yet again, is KC and Ultimates. The whole desk went KC again, Ultimates proved their worth, and they got another win despite the curse.
It tells you how strong we think Carmine Core is. If they're going up against a team like the Ultimates and we're going to completely sweep the desk here, I'm also going to be going with Carmine Core.
Unfortunately for Ultimates, they do convince everyone to be on their side, and that curses them against Team Secret.
I think Ultimates, it's crazy that they're in this situation at all. I feel like it should have been Gentlemates. I do think Ultimates will secure this spot here.
Moving on to Birmingham, and I think the caster curse was a little bit jet lagged as it went 1 for 9 on predictions this event. The only one wrong being Dignitas losing to Furia.
Team, but I think that right now Dignitas are playing it better. They're looking more confident, they're playing with belief, and that's a scary thing when that Jack believes and his teammates believe in him.
Guys, we're all going Dignitas. This is not good.
Are you going to dig?
We're all shading it though, we're all shading it.
But with that, we end the 2025 season with the curse going 7 for 29 on caster curses, giving it about a 24% success rate. Let's see if 2024 can be any better. The World Championship in 2024 started with the Swiss stage, which had 3 sweeps for us, which is Gen G losing to OCE, KC getting upset by Furia, and Gen G losing to OCE. Now with only 3 curses and 4 days of Swiss play, surely playoff weekend can't be that crazy, right? Playoff Saturday had 3 death sweeps, and every single one was a curse. Starting with Chalk losing to First Touch, and I'm absolutely counting that, that's hilarious.
So usually this is where the host has to try and put a prediction on the other team to try and make it look fair. But this is not a fair matchup. It is 3 Titans that are going to smash it. Put me on Shortcast.
We also have Gentlemates who lose to Oxygen,
I'm also picking Gentlemates.
Yeah. We see our group of 30 over there.
and we have Space Station Gaming losing to Furia.
I think the fatigue is going to set in, and I think this crowd is going to make the fatigue worse. SSG is going to be the desk favorite here with a perfect sweep. Give me SSG as well.
And to keep the train rolling into Sunday, the entire desk predicts G2 to win the grand finals.
Think it's a win, I believe in G2. You need to believe in G2 as well. Let's go!
I've been rolling with them all day. They haven't let me down one time yet. It's G2's time to win the World Championship. Give me G2. The desk, at least as far as people brains goes, is sweeping.
Why they did this, I have no idea, and as a diehard G2 fan, I will never forgive them for this. The London Major 3.0 isn't anything special, but there is a talking point that I want to mention for you guys to pay attention to as the video goes along, and that is the curse of Team Secret. This desk has no faith in Team Secret, no matter the roster. Copenhagen delivers the same story that we've seen throughout this entire video so far, and that is that KC never gets predicted against. They were on 4 death sweeps this event and were cursed 2 of those times, one of them being against Falcons in the Swiss stage.
Who did you pick, Wade?
I got Karmine Core on this one. I am not predicting against the blue wall until they lose here.
Which they did get their revenge for later on, and the other one being the eventual winners in Gentlemates.
Blue wall. That's what I'm wrong with right now.
Guys, Gentlemates haven't lost.
I know.
They haven't lost.
That's the power of K-Corp.
I'm also predicting K-Corp here. They haven't lost though.
With that ends the 2024 season, and there is something special that I want to notice, and that's only one person on the desk for both majors predicted the winners. Gibbs was the only one to see Gentlemates winning, and of course T-Bates predicted G2 back in London. 2024 went a little bit crazier with the curses, going 11 for 40. 40 death sweeps over the 3 live events, which is crazy. This gives the curse in 2024 about a 27.5% success rate. Now, the World Championship in Dusseldorf is when I noticed a bit of a shift going on, and that is that the casters are terrified of the curse at this event, absolutely mortified. Out of the entire 10-day event in Dusseldorf, there were only 9 sweeps. This includes the 4-day wildcard event, the 5-day group stage, and the Championship Sunday. And on top of that, a lot of casters switched their opinion on games just for the caster curse.
Gotta be some. Okay, that's a curse for them. I am going with G2 on this one, but I'm gonna curse them up here. This has never been good.
We can't do it.
G2.
We can't do it. Put me on the other side. Let's get wet, baby. Let's get wet. More stage bots. Take this one.
He's only doing it good. He doesn't want G2 to lose. Don't let him confuse you, chat.
Do that, man. Listen, liquidate this bar. I'll take the liquid. You can't go full across the desk at this point in the tournament. I'll take the baby buff.
Now, how right were they in their fears? Not at all. There was only one team that was cursed, with Team Liquid beating Space Station.
Listen, I talked to Liquid last night, and I said, hey, there's a chance I might go a different direction. He said, you know what? If you do, it's okay. We'll prove you wrong. So you're going to have to prove me wrong. I'm going SSG.
Oh, my God.
The entire desk is here. They feel the same way.
As for Team Secret, which I mentioned earlier, they were on a third of the death sweeps in this event, and unfortunately for them, the curse did not bail them out.
I was in favor of SSG. I'm going to go.
Okay, no,
I'm
but this is
gonna
not
go
okay, because that means all of us are predicting SSG.
Listen, wave.
Moving on to Boston, and I guess I brought bad vibes to this event, being the only LAN that I've ever gone to, as this is the highest percentage of curses in this video so far. Saying that is a little scarier than it actually is though, as there was only 4 sweeps in this entire event, and 2 of them were curses, giving them 50%. The 2 curses being NIP beating out Furia, and the major champion Vitality beating out Gen G, despite my best efforts to keep Gen G alive.
The end
Following the trend of going 50% that we just saw in Boston, Diego went 2 for 4 on caster curses, both of those happening in playoff Saturday. Team Secret finally gets the desk to go all in on them, but that might have been a mistake as they do get cursed. Oxygen is on the receiving end of the other one, with both a cracked out Sizen and Radossin both fighting to stay alive on the team before they get replaced by Zen. Wrapping up the 22-23 season in Rotterdam, and this is a monumental day for the curse, as every single sweep predicted was cursed. This is a huge day for curse believers. Now, there was only 3, but you know, 100% to 100%, right? I guess just placing second place at the previous year's World Championship gives G2 a little bit of a boost. They were voted for twice. They were fully swept on the desk twice, but you know, I did just say that all the sweeps were curses, right? Yeah, they lost. They got cursed both those times. But in good news, Moist was completely voted out to beat Team Secret. And as I said, that means Team Secret wins their first curse and they get a win under their belts. This is huge. So with that being the end of the 22-23 season, let's see how the curse did. So we can obviously see that, as stated at the beginning, the casters were terrified of this curse with only 20 full votes for them. How many were curses? 8. That's not bad. That's a 40% success rate for the curse. Maybe this thing's a little bit more believable than we thought. Moving on to our final season in the open era, and I'm going to bring something to your attention, being NRG, or as I like to call them, the curse's favorite child. I will make more note of this as we continue with this season and more so into league play, but I mean, you'll see. Going into playoff weekend in Fort Worth, we do have a 5-man desk, which gives us a lot smaller odds for a curse, but we got 2. KC again on top, beating out Optic in the predictions, as well as the semifinals of Furia versus BDS. Now, if the curse was a little bit jet lagged back in Birmingham, it fully missed its flight 2 times in a row with London 2.0 and Los Angeles. The reason I say this is because out of the 12 desk sweeps between those 2 events, not a single one was a curse. Now, this doesn't mean there's nothing interesting to talk about, as on day 3 of the LA Major, the entire desk predicted Endpoint to beat out Furia before Chamaco finally showed up and talked some sense into them, making them all change their votes into Furia.
Made a bracket. I'm going with Endpoint as well. That makes a unanimous desk across the whole way here of us taking down Endpoint.
Siempre con algo diferente, una sorpresa, algo por el estilo. Esto es un libreto, gente, no importa. Simplemente estamos haciendo que se crean que es un libreto. Pero ¿por qué tienen que estar votando con ellos?
so angry.
No importa lo que estoy diciendo, es un libreto, está todo bien. Eso, mis amigos, estoy feliz de estar aquí, de verdad, súper feliz. Furia si quieren, Sí, yo voy por Furia. Siempre voy por Furia, así que no importa nada.
Yeah, Furia, sorry.
Yo no venía aquí a hacer esto. Yo simplemente quería estar aquí con ustedes, pasarla bien, hacerles sentir bien. Estoy súper contento porque voy a estar casteando el juego de Furia. Así que, mira, yo me voy a ir de aquí, voy a pasarla bien con los demás. Nada, nos vemos, disfruten esto.
We got a show, Chamaco. What's going on? What just happened?
Now with those 2 Nothing Burger events out of the way, let's move on to Stockholm, which is the final event of the year, as well as the final event of the open era. Thankfully for the sake of this video, there were a couple desk sweeps on here, and 3 of the 4 of them got cursed. NRG lose to BDS and Swiss, which I'm sure is just a one-off, that won't happen again. CJ cements himself as the Sam Killer, and Semper get an upset over one of the strongest looking teams at the event that handily beat them in Swiss just 2 days ago. Now that does bring an end to the open era, and let's see how this year did compared to all the others. So there was 23 sweeps, which again is not a lot. There were only 6 correct curses, which this means that this is about a little over 26% success rate, which honestly is better than I thought considering 2 events got 0 curses. Moving into the league play era, and this will be a breeze as there was only 3 days of in-person competition every 6 months. And for season 7 and 8, as far as I could tell, they only did predictions on Championship Sunday. So unless on the other days they just screamed their team names on the count of 3 and I completely skipped them every single time as I'm mashing through the desk segments on my keyboard, I didn't find any of them. Anyway, in both season 7 and 8 combined, there was only 3 desk sweeps, and only 1 of them being cursed. And shocker, it's NRG, as I said before. Moving into season 6, we keep the trend of season 7 and 8 with there being 3 desk sweeps in season 6, and only 1 of them being cursed, which is NRG. Returning to London for the first time historically, but the 3rd time for this video, there were 4 sweeps during this event, and thankfully NRG did not get cursed in any of these, as, you know, they did alright this event. The honor of getting cursed goes to Renault Vitality, losing to a pirate, funny enough. Seasons 3 and 4, we see the curse going back to its favorite child, as 3 of the 5 curses in both of these events went to NRG, with the other 2 going to Flipside and PSG. And now we've made it to RLCS Seasons 1 and 2, and there's quite a bit more sweeps than we've seen in a while, but there's a good reason for that. You see, these first 2 events only had a 3-man desk, with Axeltoss, Gibbs, and a random assortment of casters being the 3rd man. So if you think about it, only a 3-man desk makes it much easier for the curse to come true, right? It actually gets worse, as Axeltoss doesn't even make his own predictions in these 2 events. So for these last 2 seasons, we only have 2 people voting on the outcome of the curse for every single match. Anyway, Season 2 sees NRG's curse finally coming to an end, as they get cursed one final time by Precision Z, as well as Orbit getting another 2 curses to mock it and take 3. Thankfully with Season 1, the curse goes out, or I guess starts with a bang, as there's 5 out of the 8 sweeps get cursed. Noticeably, Mocket gets cursed twice, the Flying Dutchman is cursed twice and gets those wins, and Flipside Tactics gets beaten out by iBuyPower. And that concludes every caster curse in the RLCS LAN history. So let's see how it did. So as I said at the beginning, there's 151 death sweeps, and out of every single one of those, 47 of them were cursed, giving it about a 31.13% chance of actually coming true. So although this is a satisfying number to look at, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. So if you're a caster in the RLCS and you found this video somehow, speak from the heart. I believe in you. 2 out of the 3 of those times, you're going to be fine. There's going to be no curse. And that one time, I'll take the blame. You can just say that you saw me. You told me to say it. I got you, bro. Bonus stats. For those of you guys who made it to the end of this video, I put all 71 teams that have ever been in or part of a curse into a little bracket here, and I have filled them out into 4 categories. Against and won, against and lost, got cursed, and beat the curse. And we're going to talk about some notable standouts here. For starters, I want to talk about the leaders in each of these categories. For sweeps against but still managing to win is a 5-way tie between Furia, Team Secret, Falcons, Vitality, and BDS, all with 3 votes. For getting swept against and losing the match, making their predictions true, we unfortunately do have Team Secret, as I mentioned, with 8 votes, 8 sweeps against. Followed closely behind by Space Station with 7 votes, and Furia, Pioneers, and Twisted Minds all with 5. The most cursed team in this video goes to the favorite child of NRG, with 8 sweeps in their favor going against them. KC takes the silver with 6, and of course Gen G, Furia, and G2 all take the bronze with 3. And the team who got voted fully on the desk but still managed to come out on top is KC the most, with 11 times getting fully swept in their favor and them still managing to win it out. This is followed by Falcons and NRG with 9 votes and 8 votes respectively. NRG and KC are tied for the most amount of appearances in a sweep, whether it's for them or against them, with 17 each. And if it wasn't for Flipside Tactics back in Season 2, every single one of these 17 times for both teams would have been in their favor, which shows the absolute dominance of both of these teams. And yes, this means that KC has never been fully death swept against them, showing just the dominance that they've had in the open era. Another thing I found interesting is that Team Falcons has never been swept before, despite being 3rd in most appearances in a sweep. The last thing I'll share with you guys is a nice little G2 fact, as I am a little bit biased here. So you would think that a team starting back in Season 4 and going all the way up to 2023 would have a lot of sweeps on the desk, right? No, they've only appeared in 9 sweeps ever in their entire lifespan. And the crazy part about this is the first time they were in a sweep was at the Rotterdam Major, also known as the 2nd year of the Open Era, also known as 5 years after their introduction into the RLCS, which I could not believe when I found this out. Again, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. I would really appreciate it if you left a like, and if you enjoy this style of content, I have a video right here where I talked about the most iconic goals on every single RLCS map. But with all that out of the way, I will see you guys in the next one.